What more can you say about Coach Jose Rivero? He's a master of moments who almost scripts matches. It's like he knows what's going to happen. He's a guy that doesn't mind changing things. But his most underrated quality is his ability to make changes that match his players. You see, I've said over the past few months, Tito can't play with Makgopa and Mfukeng because they crowd each other. And I thought that maybe the fix is to take Tito out and maybe just leave Makgopa in with Mfukeng and maybe play that team. But in comes Coach Jose Rivero and he goes, no guys, I'm going to play Dlamini, Tito, Makaula in the mid. I'm going to take out Mfukeng. And then I'm going to have Makgopa, Nkota and Hoto. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I watched this and I thought to myself, Jose, what are you doing? But it turned out to be another really great fix. Because think about it. What does Tito thrive in? Space. And if Hoto is playing all saver, basically almost to cover Marco, you're going to have a lot of space, and that allows Tito to play with Dlamini. And Makgopa can make his decoy runs to the other side to allow spaces in the middle. And I want to highlight a couple of players. I think Marco is incredible. I think Marco is the reason why the defense is so solid. Because, yes, Kona Botelpi and those guys, because what have we been crying about some of the time with Orlando Pirates? The left and right backs go. Van Rooyen goes. He might just be the weakest link there, but in any case, that's a topic for another day. They just go, and you'd be left with the two. And it'd be two with Makaula, who are meant to mark a transition. And they'd struggle at times. You think about the Stellenbosch game. But having Marco in and keeping the three means that you always have three players plus Makaula in order to make sure that if you're caught out at any time, you've got enough personnel, especially Ngabo LTP, who are able to be physical presences in the box who can fight. You look at Hoto. Now, Coach Jose has been experimenting with this for a very long time. Taking Hoto and making him all saver around. And I think it's been a really good addition to that team because at any point you can ask him to go to the other side. We've seen him cover Van Rooyen sometimes when they see that it's getting hot. You can ask him to go to the other side. When Mfukeng was brought in, he went to right wing. And he gives you a sort of fluidity that you don't get out of the other players. Because I feel as though Hoto is an unselfish runner, which brings you a different dimension than when you have Mfukeng. When Mfukeng's on the ball, or on the pitch, the ball has to be played to him. When Hoto's on the ball, he doesn't mind letting Tito do what Tito loves to do. Go into the pockets on the sides and allow Dlamini to play with the ball. Because Dlamini defensively, not very good. But if you can give Tito someone to play with, usually it was Mfukeng. But in this situation, Makgopa's in. So it allows Tito to go wide and find the pockets and still have somebody who can play him the ball. Okay, so I know I stopped the video a lot and a lot of you are wondering, why are you asking for money? So I wanted to show you. I asked for money because I want to do more of this. Huh? But the truth of the matter is that it took over an hour in order just to render that shot. And it takes even longer when I'm doing my normal content because, guys, here's the unsung hero of the channel. And unfortunately, Shem, but the screen is broken. I have to use a second screen and the performance is not up to it. So I'd really love to upgrade things like that. And when you look over here, this is what the setup looks like. Rehenga di patlo and rehenga di green screen, which is a reality of being a South African content creator. Also, this is what people think is my studio. It's actually my house. So if you still don't know that I'm doing all of this from my home, then I don't know. But that is essentially what I want to do. More of these cool things. But I need you guys to please help me out by donating 50 Rand or more into this account. You know, we're fighting for multi-choice. And multi-choice, but there is subscription models all over the place. And I'd love to give the biggest quality while also being able to pay my rent and do things like that. That is where your money is going. And I promise to give you only the best content that I can if you do throw something in. So I just wanted to show you guys what I want to do with your money. I want to take this South African football and fulfill my dream of taking it into the future. But thank you guys so much. Remember, this is the bank account that you deposit into. Get back into the video. I want to give credit also to Udlamini. A lot of questions have been asked about Udlamini, about him and his role at Pirates. Because whenever we see him in the Tito role, he's not as influential. When you see him in the Mbata role, the double six, double pivot, he's not that influential. But this role where it's almost like Makaula is a single pivot with 2 10s allows Tito to be mobile. And when you've got Tito and Dlamini, at least there you've got a couple of players that can play the ball a little bit, and I think they feed off of each other. If you think of it like how Tito used to play with Umfukeng, like I said earlier, that type of relationship. So I want to give Dlamini that credit. I also want to give Buthelezi credit. I know it wasn't tested as much, but I was sitting with Pirates fans, well, there were Pirates fans where I was sitting, and you could hear them almost their hearts drop when they saw Buthelezi in the starting lineup. So for him to stand up, that is incredible. When it comes to Marumo Gallants, I think it's a team that was stuck in two minds. I think they wanted to go into the low block. They wanted to sit back and sort of let Pirates go. Sort of let Pirates play and pick the ball off. For the most part, they were able to do it a little bit. They were able to keep Pirates at bay quite a bit. If not for some better decision making in the final third, maybe Pirates could get something. But for the most part, that back 5, back 6 with a 3 was great. But here comes the thing that I always say. Have some danger. Free some people. I think the game changed a little bit when Gavadina Mhango came in, when they started pushing forward, and maybe if they had a player like Zindonga fit, they would have done something. Marumo Gallants had passages where they should have done better. Now, like I said, Pirates was playing Dlamini and Makaula, and they were getting excited at points in that game where it then opened up for Marumo Gallants. They were running a 3-man attack, and there was one ball in particular where he could have taken the ball, ran into there to make the pass, but he tried to play a ball, to loop a ball over. There were plenty of those little places where Imaruma was messing up their chances there. They did get chances. And what do I always say about Pirates? When you play against Pirates, you will get chances, but you need to finish them. And finishing them means not hitting it straight to Buthelezi when you've got an open side. There was one of those shots. There's Abom Sendami taking weird shots. There was another chance where I think it was shot hard and low, if I'm not mistaken, and it wasn't taken as well. It's almost like the guy didn't shoot it fully. You will get chances. You need to finish them if you want to beat the Pirates. But all in all, I think the only disappointing thing for me was that Pirates got into so many attacking places. There was a cutback. That was played across, and both, I think it was Dlamini. I'm not sure if it was Dlamini, but Dlamini and Mahopa both just left it. They kind of skipped it. This thing yok skippy bola, instead of taking the ball and running into spaces, Marumo Gallants did it as well. So we need, as a country, as teams in South Africa, to improve our final third play and final third decision making, because Marumo Gallants could probably cry about box entries today, or Pirates could cry about box entries today, but you leave a first half, I believe it was, where there's only 2 shots and 2 on target. One of them just so happened to be that amazing play, interplay between Pirates to score the goal. Actually, let me touch on that. Tito starts the move, runs in, ball is played across, he cuts it back, goal placement by Dlamini. What a team goal. Decoy runs, pulling defenders. I loved every minute of it, because at that point, Marumo Gallants had 6 players back, had 6 players defending. So all in all, I think it's another championship win for Pirates. in terms of, the championship score is 1-0. You score your goal, you go to the next round. You score your goal, you go to the finals. And Pirates still is, for me, the biggest big game team in the country. Just ask Mamelodi Sundowns on the other side. That is the difference. Pirates wins these games. And now they're in line for their 6th trophy in 3 years. Yeah, 6 trophies in 3 years. They could even go far. They could win the Champions League, theoretically. They could win the Champions League too. So that would cap off an incredible season. In fact, if they win their games in hand, could Sundowns shake enough for Pirates to take over? I don't know, but it is something that Pirates could look at an unlikely haul of trophies that nobody would have ever thought of, because they've already got the MTN8. So kudos to Coach Jose, who continues to be the master of moments, the master of his team. The understanding of his team is incredible. I love it. Well done, Orlando Pirates. I'll see you guys on the next one.